welcome back to the channel. I'm Carrie. The channel is all about Hawaii food and family. And today I have a special guest that some of you probably have seen before, and this is my Uncle Owen, and he is making bread for us today. So you want to kind of introduce what you're making?
So in case you're wondering, I have a glove on because I got a cut on my fingers, so I'm wearing a glove. The recipe came originally, as I understand it, from Alice Peters of Laupahoehoe, and as I understand it, one of her sons was my classmate.
Oh, okay.
And it's been tried and true, this recipe. She would generally have made a bigger batch, but the person who got this recipe made it into a smaller batch. So this uses 9 cups of flour instead of a much bigger batch, which would be a lot of work.
Which would be a lot of work and a lot of bread.
So this is 9 cups of flour, make 3 loaves. It's a Portuguese sweet bread recipe.
Portuguese sweet bread.
Yeah.
Have you had this before? Like, have you tasted it before?
We used to get Portuguese sweet bread given to us. We never made it ourselves. So this is actually my first time trying this recipe.
Ooh, I'm sure it's
good.
We'll
see how it comes out.
Yeah.
I made bread before, but not this recipe. And so we would, mom and dad made friends, and their friends would give them Portuguese sweet bread sometimes.
Okay.
So I remember eating it. It was really good, fresh, and it was also good if you would slice it and toast it and put butter on it.
Ooh, that sounds really good.
That was the best. If you toasted it, put butter on it, that was so good. Yeah.
All right. Okay, so we have 9 cups of flour.
And we're going to add in 2 cups of sugar.
Ooh, is that what makes it the sweet bread?
Right, a lot of sugar. It's a lot of sugar for
a little bit of flour.
9 cups of flour. And then we're going to add in 1 cup, 8 ounces of butter. So each block is 4 ounces. We're going to add in 2 ounces of block, two blocks of 4 ounces each.
So it's like a cup of butter, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The butter should be then a little bit of salt.
Okay.
Salt, it says a little salt, but I'm gonna guess probably about half a tablespoon, maybe a teaspoon.
Do you want to use a measuring cup?
This will be good enough. Okay. So we're just gonna mix it all together.
While Uncle Owen started mixing the flour, butter, sugar, and salt together, I was wondering if the water was warm enough for the yeast mixture, and so Uncle Owen was checking it, and I put it back in the microwave to get the water a little bit warmer.
Mix it in the bowl and make a well in the center. 9 cups of flour, 1 cup of butter, 2 cups of sugar, a little salt.
The yeast mixture included yeast, warm water, and a little bit of sugar. Does yeast go bad?
Yep. But it lasts a long time in the freezer. If you have it in an airtight bag and you put it in the freezer, it'll last a long time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just keep stirring until it's all melted.
So for your family, are you mainly the cook, or does Auntie Jan cook? Or?
Oh, we cook different things. Yeah. A lot of times we cook something and then that's good for the next, so many meals.
Yeah.
And then we cook again. So, depends.
Do you feel like you learned from Grandma and Grandpa or your parents how to cook? Or do you feel like you learned in your later years?
Some things, yes. Like I just made beef sukiyaki the other night. And most of it was from what I remember. I think you guys did a video on that. But I just went with what I remembered, and it was okay.
Do you want to kind of talk a little, like share a memory, or I don't know how it relates to bread, but
I think it's just that they would share a lot of things, in the neighborhood that the community we grew up in. So there were people who would bring sweet bread, like I said, and then sometimes some people would bring jerk meat. You know, some of the workers, some of the people cut hair with my mom. They would bring jerk meat, jerk pork. They would go hunting and then smoke the pork and give us some of that smoked pork. Sometimes they'll be even, and I don't know how she knew them, but they were doing oranges from Kau, and sometimes you would get the Kau oranges. Have you ever had Kau?
I think I've had it before, like once, but they're very sweet, yeah.
Yeah, they kind of look ugly, but they're sweet. You can't, the flavor you just can't get from the ones you get in the market.
It's not the ones that you can peel. It's like you have to cut, right?
Yeah,
It's not like the peel.
Yeah.
This
But
good?
the flavor is so much better than. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so we can see the bubbles.
Yeah.
So we know it should be working. And we're supposed to make a well in the middle. Before we pour it in, we're going to mix in the milk.
Okay. Mixing the milk. Oh.
I thought there was something about this that's a little bit off. Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Actually, we're supposed to mix the milk in here, but that's a bigger one, so. Okay.
Oh, okay. Mix it together.
Yeah. And then, so that's 2 cups. This is 2 cups of evaporated milk that's been diluted. So 1 cup evaporated milk, 1 cup of water.
Okay.
It's warmed up and mixed up with that, and now we're going to put it in here.
Okay.
Oops. Actually, we do it slowly, but that's okay.
Oops.
Okay, so the people who do this a lot probably cringing right now, but you know, this is for the new guys. If you haven't done a whole lot of
Bread making, yeah.
then you can feel comfortable because, you know, I'm kind of a novice at this bread.
Just to encourage people
Yeah,
who don't
this
do
is
it
to
on their-
encourage people who, you know,
Who never
haven't tried it
And you know,
before.
honestly, for me too, I'm interested actually in getting into bread making.
yeah,
I watch videos online,
okay.
but I've never really
great.
embarked on that journey yet. So
Actually,
I'm learning.
when I make a bread at home, the most I would use is 6 cups of flour.
Make sure to add the milk into a foamy yeast mixture and pour into the flour dough slowly. Keep watching though, because we might have forgot something kind of important that was supposed to go in this dough with the liquids.
I don't know what the texture is supposed to be, but when I do regular bread, this is too soft.
Too soft.
I would add more flour to this. I'm gonna be mixing the dough. Yeah, kind of sprinkle it around the edge. Yeah. Okay, that's good. And we're gonna mix it in slowly. See how the dough reacts to this new flour. Okay, so you want to knead it
Dessert here.
and have enough flour so that it comes off the sides clean. If it's not coming off the sides clean, it's probably,
Too soft.
yeah, probably too soft yet.
Oh, we didn't do the beat 6 eggs.
Huh?
The
Yeah,
whole thing, or?
just put it in.
Just
Just put it in. This
Uncle,
one,
Alright.
so while we were looking back at the recipe,
because my computer turned off.
because the computer turned off, we realized that we forgot a probably important ingredient. So we forgot the eggs, but
We were going to improvise.
we are gonna improvise and we're gonna see how it works out. Adding the eggs to the dough. So let's backtrack a bit if you do want to make this recipe. So what we should have done was beat 6 eggs into the foamy yeast mixture, and then to that we would add 2 cups of milk into that, and then we would add that into the dough slowly. After Uncle Owen added in the 6 eggs, the dough was still quite soft, so we had to add in more flour to get the right texture again. Let the dough rest for about half an hour.
We're going to try to divide the dough into 3 parts and put them one into each pan. So I'm just going to squeeze the dough a little bit. So you notice the dough is not quite as sticky as it was before. I'm not that familiar with this bread, so I don't know the exact texture it's supposed to be. I'm hoping that earlier mistake we had earlier is not fatal to the bread, and we will see. But you know, at least if it turns out, you'll know that there's room for error. If you make a mistake, it just might take a little longer, but you can still get there.
That's a life lesson.
So this took, because of that mistake, it took maybe a little bit longer. And we're gonna put the pans are greased, but I just use cooking oil.
Okay.
But of course, if you use butter, that'll be better. In my opinion, butter is always better. Okay, so hopefully it's been mixed enough. We'll find out. The test will be when we actually taste the bread, yeah? But
So after this, what's the next step?
we're gonna let it rise.
Okay.
We're gonna let it rise until it's about doubled in size.
Cover and let the dough rise for about 1 hour or until the dough is doubled in size. And then you're going to put the dough in the oven at 325 degrees for 50 minutes. Uncle Owen is checking the internal temperature of the breads, and most breads, he says, should be done at about 190 degrees Fahrenheit.
Did you know it was gonna blow up that big? That's awesome.
Yeah. So let's see how it tastes. It was in the oven a little too long because we had opened it and closed it a couple times earlier, so it had to stay longer. And we got the right temperature though.
Wow.
And hopefully it won't be too dried up. We're gonna let it cool off, and then we'll taste it. So we can't leave the bread in too long because otherwise they'll get soggy. So you have to take them out of the pan and let them cool off more.
These loaves of bread turned out amazing, and this experience taught me that in some situations, even though things don't go according to plan or steps are done out of order, sometimes you just make the best of the situation, as Uncle Owen did here, and things still turn out wonderful.
Let them cool off for about 10 minutes more, then we can cut one of them, test it out. You did. Here.
I'll try some after you guys have it. And Daddy wants to and Anita wants bread.
They're good flavor, just sweet.
It looks like sweet bread.
Yeah, good. It's good. Hi, Lori. I'll give you a piece.
Oh, thank you.
You want some butter?
Oh, sure.
Do you feel like this passes the test?
I think it passes.
I can get another.
I think it passes the test.
So would you say that even with the mishap that we had, do you feel like we're pretty successful at how these came out?
The texture,
What was the mishap? What happened? What was the mishap?
appearance is really good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
What was the mishap?
It's moist, it's not dry. It kind of melts in your mouth. And even without the butter, it's good. So I like the recipe.
What were you you said you wanted to mention a couple of things.
Oh yeah. Two of our grandchildren are part Portuguese. So I wanted to make sure I know how to make something Portuguese.
Oh,
I saw this recipe, Portuguese Sweet Bread.
It's kind of for that.
They're part Spanish, Portuguese, Hawaiian Chinese, and Filipino Japanese. So I can do something Portuguese now.
Very good. And hopefully you can too. Yeah.
Anybody want some freshly baked bread and butter?
How is it? What do you think?
Good. I don't think it's quite as sweet as Portuguese sweet bread. Not quite as sweet.
So you think it could be smoother?
Yeah, we have to go to the other side.
Does it remind you of like upbringing as like being children?
Yeah. Not quite. Excellent.
Good job, Uncle Owen.
Good job, Uncle Owen.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really good.
All the loaves came out very nice. Yeah.
I'll put some butter.
Butter, more butter. Bread.
She's in her room.
I put butter on it. Very delicious. I would like to make this. Very good. This is Uncle Owen's homemade Portuguese sweet bread. Many people have tried it already and they say it's really good, but I'm going to give it a try now. It smells so good, and you know what? It tastes really delicious. We have to get Uncle Owen's recipe. Thank you, Uncle Owen.
It was Christmas Eve when I recorded this, so it is a little loud and chaotic. But this is a little sneak peek into how we celebrated the holidays this year. A little emptier without Grandma, but it felt nice that we were all together. For those of you that watched my last video, I just wanted to say thank you so much for all your kind words of love and support, and all the memories that many of you shared with me in the comments about Grandma. It meant a lot to read all of them, and I'm just so grateful for this YouTube family that we have here. I do miss her a lot, but I'm comforted to know that she's back together with Grandpa. I do look forward to continuing her legacy and my grandpa's legacy through these videos and through their recipes. And as always, I hope you guys are having a wonderful start to 2024. And Happy New Year from our family, and I'll see you guys in the next one.